Keep Pharr Beautiful Committee, and it is today, January the 18th, Tuesday afternoon, and we're meeting here at the City Commissioners Room. Before I begin, I want to say Happy New Year to all. It's what a blessing that we're able to be here. We're going to begin. Item 1A, call to order, please. Here.
Present. Here.
Thank you, Ms. Cindy. We're going to go on and entertain a motion on the floor, please, to excuse the two members that are absent.
Madam President, I so move.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor. Mr.
Second.
Carranza and Mr. Robles seconds the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, being there's no opposition, the motion passes. We're going to go on to the invocation. We could put ourselves in the spirit of opening up our hearts and listening to what God has to share with us today. Father in heaven, we give thanks and praise. We give you glory and we love you. Thank you for this opportunity to come together to serve you. We ask that you make clear our path and show us the way to best help our community of Pharr. Thank you, Father. We give you praise in Jesus' name. Amen. We go on to administrative item 2A, the approval of minutes for November 10th, regular scheduled meeting, 2021. I need a motion on the floor.
Madam Chairman, I move that we accept the minutes as written.
Okay, Mr. Robles has said the motion. I need a second on the floor, please.
I second the motion.
Okay, Mr. Carranza. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, being that there's no opposition, the motion passes. We're going to go on to administrative item 2B, the status report on Keep Texas Beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce that once again, our Governor's Community Achievement Award application is out and ready to start working on. That was released on January 4th, and the deadline for that grant is upcoming February 17th, 2022. I know that we've got a big task at hand, and we have a very capable young lady in Public Works who has done this before, and we applaud and commend her achievements and her hard work, and we look forward to positive results from this grant. And once again, for those that are new to this grant opportunity, it is upwards of $200,000 that we're vying for, and it's based on population, and it's based on population size. There are 7 pillars, I believe, that the Keep Texas Beautiful group has designated, and these monies are allocated to the grant by TxDOT. Perhaps when it's time later on in the agenda, we'll have the young lady that I was speaking about earlier, maybe just highlight that grant for us. We're very excited about it. It gives us an opportunity to beautify our city, and with the help of a TxDOT architect and planning. So we're once again very excited about that. As far as the Keep Pharr Beautiful group status report, we begin the new year and working together with Parks and Recreation Department, Public Works, and of course, Development Services. I know that should have started with Development Services first. I know that they've got a series of events every month in which they enhance and beautify the city. They're continuing with that and expanding and reaching out to the community to designate and locate areas that need to be beautified. And again, I commend them for their service to our community. Parks and Recreation, all year long, they're doing lots of wonderful work with our parks, enhancing our green spaces. And also, we've got a wonderful lady on board who is educating and contributing greatly to the program as well. And I'll let her just say a few words later when it comes time for that. I'm looking forward to possibly entertaining the idea of maybe increasing our board size, our committee size. I believe that if we want to take the effort to the next level and take it outside the box per se, the programming is there in the different departments. Public Works every month has things going on to help beautify their reduce recycling program. We need to, grow it. We need to help them grow it. So I'm looking forward to the year and entertaining that idea of possibly expanding our committee of 5. So with that, I'm going to entertain any questions from the committee.
Do you know what kind of action is necessary to increase board size?
I believe we need to all be on board with it. And then since we fall under Parks and Recreation, the director will need to, and the director and the staff needs to reach out formally to City Commission, and it needs to go before them as like a proposition or a proposition, and then it needs to be read 3 different times, I believe. So it's not going to be something that's done from one month to the next.
But we'll start the ball rolling.
If everyone's in agreement, yeah, we can start the ball rolling. And so conceivably, maybe by May, it could take 3 to 4 months, depending on things. So, since the other 2 members aren't here, I guess we should wait and run it by them and have everyone be okay with it. Any other questions? Okay. And again, I'm excited to announce about the Governor's Community Achievement Program. I would like to, I'm not sure if everyone, Ms. Medina had given us a copy of the grant application that was submitted for 2021. I'm not sure if anyone still has it. I would like to possibly email everyone a copy, and that way you can review it and take a look at the questions that were asked. And then I'm not sure, did you all receive the information as well this year in January?
This year, I don't recall.
Okay. So you can see what the new questions are, and any help that you might be able to give us in ideas and thoughts and words, I believe it'll be very helpful. I believe that we have the next meeting in February and the deadline for this application will be the 17th. So hopefully through email and phone calls, we can contribute some help to this program, to this grant. Any other questions regarding this item? Okay. All right. Well, then we move on to item 2C, updates on the update on the Keep Pharr Beautiful fundraiser. So Miss Cindy and I sat down. Miss Cindy is our wonderful right hand who helps us keep things organized with Parks and Recreation. We had 750 tickets that were actually printed total. We sold 681 tickets. Therefore, there were 69 that were actually not sold. They were returned. They were checked out, but, life happens and these were returned. And the amount that we made on the fundraiser was $2,185. And keep in mind that there were tickets, some tickets were sold at $5 each, and some were sold, others were sold at 3 for $10. So if you don't use that, you look at it and you're like, okay, there's something off. What we found is about 2/3 of the tickets were sold by folks outside, whether it was us or departments. Everyone had tickets they were selling, and about 1/3 of them were sold at the event that Parks and Rec had that we were at, which is the Trail of Terror. And I know that we might have sold more there, but one of the things that I found out is people don't carry money with them. They don't have cash, and typically, and especially when they're going to an event like this. So we found, I know I encountered at least a dozen people that said, "Can I Venmo you? Can I Cash App you?" And but we did sell a good third of those tickets were sold there. So it was not, it was still a good thing that we were there. Plus, the feedback from the community, not just the Pharr citizens that were there, but there were people there from all over the valley, and seeing their feedback on what the city of Pharr was doing and has done, and it was very well worth it. So, but I applaud again. We had so much help. The different departments we had, again, Public Works, Parks and Rec, Development Services, and we had, committee. We had just people selling for us. So I thank you all. Every winner had a story, which was exciting. Every winner. One of the winners was the very first ticket we sold at the Trail of Terror, which I thought was coincidental. But every winner has a story, it was pretty amazing. A single mom won the day hunt for her son, so that was pretty neat. Another single mom, limited income, won the designer Ray-Ban sunglasses, which she would never be able to buy for herself. So those are just a few examples of the blessings that were there. It's just, anyway, thought I'd share that with you. Does anyone have any questions regarding the numbers or this information so far?
Just want to say, all in all, it looks like we had a successful
Yes, sir.
fundraiser.
Yes, sir, we did. I do know that we had discussed and agreed as a committee that the funds were going to be going to education and beautification efforts for the city. So since we've got 2 in our group missing, I think we need to forego any decisions regarding
That's right.
where the funds are going to go. But I'd like to reach out,
Yes.
to them. Yes,
And I
sir.
also want to make a comment that we are very grateful for the people that donated
Oh,
the
yes.
prices, because they were very worthwhile prices, and people showed a lot of interest in knowing that they could possibly have access to those.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
thank the people that make the
Very good.
contributions.
Yes, sir. Any further questions, comments? We're good? Okay. All right. Then we move on to administrative item 2D, announcements from Development Services, Parks and Recreation, and Public Works staff. Before I begin, we have a guest in our midst, in our in the galley, so to speak. And she is the assistant city manager, Annie Reeves. So I'd just like for her to come up just for a moment and say hello and introduce herself, and congratulations. And I have to tell you that this lovely lady was out at Trail of Terror along with her daughter and her husband, I
Yes.
believe. And they were all dressed up and they were all doing something. They were
We're trying to
working.
be creepy.
Yes, they were trying to be scary. So thank you, Annie.
So, Madam President and fellow committee members, first of all, I just want to thank you most sincerely for your care, your concern, and your efforts that you put towards making sure that Pharr is a beautiful place to live. That is so important and critical. And on behalf of the staff, and I'm sure the community members that benefit from all your efforts, thank you. Beyond that, my name is Annie Reeves. I have been here now 4.5 months as the assistant city manager. And I have tried really hard not to come in as a steamroller because I tend to be really fast, but instead I have tried to listen and learn because I'm coming from Alaska. Even though I grew up here, it's changed in the 30 years that I haven't been here. But just listening to Madam President and her efforts and her concern with recycling, I would like to say that I am right along with that. I am working with our Public Works Director to grow and enhance recycling. Issues such as tire dumping, I know is a big deal here. Trying to figure out creative ways to maybe work with tire shops or with the community to figure out how can we recycle, how can we address that illegal dumping that goes on. Like there are some very real and pressing issues that I know that our community faces, and not just for beautification, but also for health and environmental concerns. So I am very excited to know that there is this group that can help and bolster our efforts as staff for working for the community. And if ever you need anything or if I can help in any way, clearly I I will jump in there. If you need me to be a creeper, I will be a creeper. If you need me to be an advocate, I will be an advocate. Whatever you guys need, I put myself at your service. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you.
And we certainly welcome you to this beautiful city of ours.
I
We
love
appreciate anything that you will and everything that you will do for us.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Annie.
I think we had Isela from the refuge just moved to Alaska.
Oh,
So we traded.
we traded. We traded. Thank you, Annie. Oh, my goodness. All right. So then, without further ado, we're going to call Development Services up first.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I'm going out with Development Services, also a code enforcement officer for the city of Pharr. So here we are, one more year, and just to let you know, the program's still moving forward. We are participating this past January the 8th. We had 3 properties that were taken care of in the East Cathy area, South Hibiscus, and West Hawk. Those were pretty successful. The guys did very well on helping those residents with their yards and their needs that they need to take care of. Also, there was a lot of, I guess, typical conversations with the residents with the grass, how they were very proud of the way we came across and did justice to their properties, and very happy. And we get a lot of good feedback on that. Also, right now we are working for this weekend, which is the 21st. We'll be having with the help, of course, Public Works, we'll be having a roll-off dumpster on East Cathy. If I'm correct, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. It'll be West Violet Drive. It'll be also to the west side of it, just like a cul-de-sac there. So we'll have the placement of the roll-off dumpster there, of course, with the recycling trailer and the recycling trailer for tires.
Mhm.
And that would help that community that's pretty much that area there. It's in dire need of getting cleaned up.
Yes. Sir, do you have a name for that? I know it's your neighborhood. It's the neighborhood weekend
It'll be basically
You have a-
neighborhood cleanup.
neighborhood cleanup.
Keep Pharr
Okay.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So at this point, hopefully, we're gonna be out there for sure this coming Thursday to make contact with the residents to see what needs they need, how can we help around the area, what kind of code violations, and see what we can help them and assist them to get that area cleaned up.
Yeah.
It really is in dire need of cleanup.
Yes. Yes.
So we're gonna be there serving the community, but we'll be out there like, we call it like a blitz, but it's a blitz to make contact with the residents.
And that's where you let them know you're going to be out there
Yes.
also with the trailers and the roll
And the
off.
roll-off dumpster. We'll be there in communication. That's very important to us to make contact with the residents to see what the needs are. And hopefully we can assist them.
I may be wrong, but if I recall correctly, didn't your member of your crew get attacked by bees at one of the, how is the person doing or that?
Mr. Nick Gonzalez, he is doing great. It was,
I'm sorry for laughing. I was there when it happened.
Oh,
yes, Ms. Cabello was there. It was pretty interesting. We're out there working. The
Yeah.
only thing Nick did very well. We
He
all
did.
kind of got stung a little bit.
He did.
Ms. Cabello
He-
did too, and
Yeah.
it was a learning experience.
He kept saying he was okay,
Yes.
but we didn't see him okay because he was swelling up. He didn't feel it. And,
Yeah.
and we were all standing in the same area
Yes.
with the lovely lady. You heard it. Yes, I know
Yes.
why you heard it. Remember, well,
Mrs.
she goes to the farmer's market
Okay.
and he works the farmer's market because he's a
Okay.
master gardener and he works there every Saturday.
Yes.
So
It was an
she was
interesting-
telling us, remember?
It was interesting because we didn't see any hives or nothing, but
Nothing.
it was just a cloud that just came in and that was it.
And the interesting thing that I learned, the biology of it, the bees followed him to the other block. He got in the car, in a truck, in the city truck, and drove to the other block. We all did. And then we got off to evaluate him because he got off too, and the bees found him.
Yes. We're there again.
They found him,
But
and they wanted to attack him again.
he's doing well.
well, good.
We all learn, I guess, from now we're gonna survey the area
Mhm.
before we even start any kind of cutting. But then again, there's another gentleman by the name of Martin that was there, which is my son volunteering. He saw the hive flying over, I guess, and that's when they came into that section where we're at.
I don't think it was like, it wasn't at the house.
Yes, it
Or
wasn't.
under a tree or something.
They're just passing by.
It was passing. Strange.
And that it took place. But I'm glad we're all safe, but we are going to take a little bit more precautions and look at the area and survey it very well because
Definitely a learning
Oh, yeah.
experience. for
And
all.
we took him to the nearest
Hospital.
ambulance to get evaluated. And then they in turn, listened, they decided to take him to
San Juan Hospital.
it's the
emergency
San
care,
Juan ER,
emergency
like an
care.
emergency
Yes,
clinic
yes.
ER, kind of one of those freestanding ERs. And yeah, so, and he wasn't ever left alone.
No.
One of us was
We
always,
were all there.
one of us was
So
there
we wish him
until,
well.
Yes, I'll let him know also.
Yeah.
He's I think he's ready to go back out there. That's what he told me. So
good.
Let's see what
Good.
happens.
Yeah. Good.
Well. thank
Well,
you.
and does anyone have any other questions for Mr. Govea? No? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
And Mr. Govea would love to have any volunteers to help them on the second Saturday
Yes.
of the month.
Yes.
And that particular day was you, your son, myself, and the gentleman who got
Mr. Nick
stung.
Gonzalez.
Yes, Mr.
And,
Gonzalez.
and I just want to add that I work in Edinburgh. And some of my coworkers were talking about this beautiful, wonderful program that we have to work in the neighborhoods to help the less fortunate and they can't afford, the elderly and all that. So work does get around about this excellent program.
Yes. I was reached out of the mission area. One of the code officers was asking me the same thing. And
How do you do it? What's going on?
It's I say my day starts at 5:30. By the time I'm done with everything, location by 7:30. So
Mhm.
hopefully that's the way we do it most of the time.
Mhm.
So it works. It's a little bit of dedication, but it's very helpful. And
I mean,
you can
they-
see the goodness on the residents. They love it.
Yes.
They're meeting at 7 in the parking lot, but before that, they've gone to pick up the equipment. So they don't start at 7. They're ready to go at 7.
Ready
And
to
so
go
it
at
starts a
7.
lot earlier than that. So yeah,
We enjoy it.
so thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to Parks and Recreation. Miss Lily.
Good afternoon, Lily Martinez, urban ecologist. And today I just have a couple updates for you. The Mayor's Monarch Pledge report has been submitted. It was approved right before the start of the year. Also, our Arbor Day or Tree City USA application was submitted as well. And as of now, I'm working on the Mayor's Monarch Pledge, like the reapplication. Also, our National Wildlife Federation grant, the Resilient Habitats grant. We should be starting work on that project this month. So hopefully we can start seeing some progress and start probably entering the park itself. I don't know if you've gone to the location. It's on Moore Road, and it's right behind Mrs. Caballero's house. And it's got a couple of trees at the entrance, so there's no way of getting in unless we go through the canal. But yeah, we should be starting that clearing that area just so we can get in this month, and then hopefully this year we can have a brand new park. So our also we're just preparing for summer programs, and just making a kind of like a program list of what I will be educating the public about, or what type of events to have. So that's pretty much it.
That nature park, I'm excited for you, for the
Yeah.
community. It's very raw. It's thick. It's raw, and I tell you, there's coyote, there's jabalin, there's all sorts of rabbits and snakes. So I'm excited because that means that the environment is supporting the animals, right?
Yeah.
Look, they have the water system, which is the canal, and there's plenty of food for them and cover.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for what that's gonna.
So
Hopefully,
we-
it'll be like an outdoor classroom kind of thing.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I will definitely look into, and that I hope we can do. And also just removing all that guinea grass and maybe adding up a bunch of natives, making it look a little better with minimal impact. So
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Anybody have any questions for Miss Lily?
We wish you well. Hope
Yes.
you continue to excel in that program.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Park.
Any area that you see where we can help you? There's a lot of areas I know.
Yeah.
So we'll reach out to you and we'll work together. Does
Definitely.
that sound good?
As of now, Crystal and I have been brainstorming of maybe having an event there.
Great.
So hopefully we can get some volunteers.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Assist in removing that guinea grass in the tricky areas where
Yes.
maybe we won't be able to get machinery in.
Yes.
So
Yes. And I know at Quinta, we did a lot of that by hand.
Yeah.
It was all just weekends by hand,
Mhm.
which is backbreaking.
it is. It's
But-
tiring. It's a lot.
But you can overcome it.
Yeah.
You can. So, wow. Okay.
On the park itself, it's like 31 acres. So
Mhm.
we won't be doing the whole park, but
No.
a good portion to where we can clear and just have our little outdoor sessions out there. So
Any other questions for Ms. Lily?
thank
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We move on to Public Works. Ms. Crystal.
Hello, Crystal Medina, Public Works
Morning,
Environmental
Crystal.
Supervisor. So I do have some numbers, just a recap of what we did for December. Our total amount of tonnage for recyclables, we had 47.81 tons. And the total tire count for all of December was 966 tires.
Oh my gosh.
And our December cleanup trash bash events, we collected 17.57 tons of trash from Pharr residents. So that helps us out so we don't see any of in our canals, in our, in our backyards, in our alleys, anything like that. So that we will be having our next trash bash on January 29th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. there at the residential collection station. So we do encourage residents to go out, any bulky trash that doesn't fit in their household trash can, take it out to us. Sofas, beds, anything like that, they can take it out to us and we will take care of it for them. And it's a free day. We ask them to go as early as possible only because we have 3 containers and we do have a front loader that is crushing the trash, but once those containers get full, we do close it up. So usually we have a line of a few people, but it is open all day just in case somebody needs to come, a little bit later.
The location again, I know where it is, but
Yes,
can you just say
the
the
residential
address?
collection station, the address is 1015 East Ferguson, but the entrance will be off of Veterans and Mako Drive. So if you know where Teja's restaurant is, it's actually right after that restaurant. There's a street called Mako Drive, go all the way down, it's a cul-de-sac, and you will see our entrance.
They're going in through the back.
Yes, yeah, they'll be going in through the back. The gates will not be open in front of Public Works. They will be open only through the back.
Very easy to get to.
Oh yeah, it's fairly easy. And there's signage too that's telling you turn this way for the collection station. We do have our tree cycling event going on right now. It started in the beginning of January and we will have it until January 28th. The hours for that are going to be Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 1 p.m. The tree cycling is pretty much real Christmas trees, no tree stands, no decorations, nothing of that sort, and for the residents to dispose of. So that way, I know sometimes it takes waste management a little bit to get to alleys or to their homes. So we have these containers at the collection station for the residents to drop off their trees.
Is that out front? Or is it out front or is it around?
It's also at the collection station.
Oh,
It's the
okay,
entrance will be the
great.
same as where the trash bash is.
Okay, great,
Yes, and we
great,
have
great,
2 containers that are just for the Christmas trees.
great.
So probably at the beginning of the month in February, I've already spoken to the city of McAllen. Waste management will be taking those roll-offs to the composting departments in McAllen so that those pine trees can be made into a mulch.
Great.
So that's what we're gonna do. And as Ms. Caballero said, the GCAA application is open. I have already been working on it. There are a few questions that have been answered. It's just the rough draft right now. So I have already emailed kind of like the pertaining departments for which questions pertain to who. So everybody kind of already has that. The deadline is February 17th. I do want to try and get it made before then, just to have everything and look over it before we turn it in. I've spoken to Development Services already and to Parks and Rec. So we're already in communication. We already know what we have to do. It's just a matter of getting that application complete. I'm sure you guys remember, but just a refresher, these questions, this year there's one new question. And so there's a total of 25 questions. They're just lengthy questions. The responses are numbered. So like the word count is numbered. So we have to be, we can't really elaborate with, small words. So it kind of just get to the point, tell us what you did throughout the year. So the application's open. We're just pretty much just working on it, just waiting for some feedback from all the departments. I did give the departments who I emailed the last year's questions with the judges' scores so they can kind of see where we were needing that extra push
Info.
so that way we can kind of know where we needed that, that help. So although we scored really well, we scored like a 96, so out of 100. So, you know, hopefully this year will be our year and we'll be able to complete it and get it approved and everything like that. So,
Hi, Crystal. Where and how can we help you?
um, so I think probably on the conclusion, I believe there's 2 questions on there. And that's kind of just, I would like to get from like a resident's point of view, kind of what you would see in the future and what you appreciate from the city. I think that would be your best input, would be in those 2 conclusion questions. So if you guys don't already have the questions, I can email them to you, or you can find them online too. But either way, just let me know. But that would probably be the best bet.
Do you have a copy of the old questionnaire from last year? The one we submitted? Because I know you gave us that. Would it be helpful if we sent that out again
Yes.
along with the 2 questions? Or the new, that way you can see
Exactly.
the
Mhm.
last year's, this year's, and then you understand that she's going to need some input from us on those last questions.
Is there a particular workshop day that people get together, your staff or us or somebody can, just to say, this question, should include this answer, something like that? I'm just asking.
There's not really like, I guess, like a day specific for that, but the questions are already kind of delegated as to what department can
Yes,
kind of help
okay.
us with. And we're all pretty good about talking to each other, whether it be through email, through Teams, or just through the
Mhm.
phone.
Yes.
We're all, I guess like this isn't our first rodeo, like we've done
Yeah.
this before. So, and the questions really haven't changed. The only thing that's really changing is our numbers, some of the extra events that we did and things like that. But for the most part, I would kind of foresee maybe setting up a meeting with everybody just to kind of see where we're at, maybe in like 2 weeks, I would say. Yeah, no, maybe like a week, because that's kind of pushing it. So like a week.
Yeah. Right, kind of as a reminder to them, like,
Right.
okay, we're going to be meeting, or, y'all are going to get together, right? Giving them the heads up so they know.
Yeah, because the application is due in less than a month.
It's less than a month. It's the 17th, yeah.
Yes.
So it's quick. It's quick. There was earlier, it was was it in November, I believe, or October? There was these online workshops and that they showed us.
Right, I
The-
remember that.
Remember that one? And they kind of went through some hints,
Pointers.
creative pointers, and they showed us kind of they highlighted the winners of each population group. And they did the little video, presented the
Mhm.
video of each that won. So really, they're taking ideas and just going kind of outside the box with some of the programming,
Right.
so to speak. But I think that's where we need to put our heads together, help them in the future. But all right, any other
Crystal,
questions?
we're behind you
Oh,
300%.
no, Miss Crystal.
Pardon?
I know, it was like Miss Crystal. Yes, where would we be without her?
Sure, just an idea, if you wanted to get a perspective from the citizens of Pharr. I know whenever I go to the recycling center there by the police station, there's always somebody there.
Mhm.
And perhaps bouncing the question off of them, you had somebody there, or just go by, and if there's somebody there, ask them, and
Okay.
we
Yeah.
might all be surprised.
maybe
at some
we
of the
should do that.
responses.
Get a clipboard with the 2 questions and kind of just take,
Yeah,
I
that's
know
definitely
he's
an
right.
idea.
At
Mhm.
the south location, there's always
There's somebody.
someone
Yeah.
aside from you, right, or me. There's always someone dropping off. Recycling.
Yeah. that's
We'll
a
get
good
together.
idea.
That might be a creative way of approaching it,
Yes.
to get the different comments from different people that come from different walks of life, and how they see the benefit or what they would like to see, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, long term. Okay. Good idea.
Very good. So, Crystal, do you have privy to the old application?
Yes, I have
Okay.
the old application.
Perhaps you can send that to Miss
I-
Cindy,
Yes,
forward it to
yeah,
Miss Cindy.
she has
And
it, so
then-
we can
So
forward
if
it
she
to y'all.
has it,
Yeah.
we'll organize it, and then we can get the committee to look at the old
Okay.
one, the new one, and then and just reach
Oh.
out to us. We'll reach out to each other, but we definitely need to help you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yes. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. So now we go on to administrative item 2E. Any board comments?
I just want to say that it took a lot of effort on everybody's part, but the park for the Christmas decorations was just out of this world. Similar to last year, but it was better. And there were a couple of times that we visited, there were people, all there, on any given day, you had people, visitors, they're from not necessarily from here, but as well as from out of town. So hats off to the people that work diligently to make this possible for the wonderful citizens, not only of Pharr, but the surrounding community.
Ms. Lilly, you'll extend our thanks to your staff, because I think Parks and Recreation spearheaded it, right? But yeah.
Yeah.
There are lots of comments on social media
Yes.
on how wonderful it looked. And then I like that our media department did several, they ran several, they did communication blitz, I guess you would say. And also, even at the end, saying, just letting everyone know that the decorations are going to be up through a certain day. They were going to come down January 10th, in case you hadn't had a chance to, go by and take pictures with your kiddos and whatnot, or just go and enjoy it. So just a lot of, Crystal said it earlier, everyone's real good about working together, and so it's a great example of that. This event that was, what, a month long? Gosh, over a month long, since Thanksgiving, actually, right? I don't know. The lights went up. It just seems like they've been up a good amount of time. So, yeah.
Just echoing Mr. Carranza's comments, I think that is a big attraction, a big plus for the city. I know that it's not only Christmas that they decorate for, but they decorate for other seasons. So, I think that's one of the things that makes Pharr beautiful.
I attended a function at the McAllen Convention Center. What a huge complex campus it is. And I was like, I hadn't been out there in a while, not during the holidays anyway. And there was all these barricades, and I had to ask, what's that for? And it was because their event is a paid event. Their lights and their decorations are more of a paid event. And it just made me realize how grateful and how thankful I am that ours isn't. And there was no, it was kind of crazy. You couldn't drive. It's just it was just very inconvenient to be going through all those barricades. So yeah. Any other comments before we adjourn? I'll leave you with this, ladies and gentlemen, and those that are present. I know Crystal has taught me something about recycling, and we can all do our part in recycling, which is very important. But if we don't, we need to start by reducing, right? Reducing, reusing, and recycling. Reducing is trying to make our footprint smaller. So I leave you with that. We've got 2 recycling locations, ladies and gentlemen. We do paper, plastic, and cardboard, and tin, right? Metal. So they are open 24/7. You just make sure you close those sliders behind you, and that way you keep the four-leggeds and the rain out and the moisture out. But I challenge everyone to do their part in reducing, buying less water bottles and taking their recyclable bags to HEB and not take any of those plastic bags out with them with their groceries inside. I'm really bad about that. I always forget mine. But if we can each do our little part, man, imagine 80,000, our population, each of us do a small part. Boy, that's a huge, huge impact indeed. So with that, I'd like to entertain a motion on the floor to adjourn this meeting.
Madam Chairman, I move that we adjourn.
Okay, Mr. Robles has a motion on the floor. Anybody second?
I second that motion.
Mr. Carranza seconds the motion. I'm sure no opposition to this motion, so this motion stands as approved. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be safe and have a great evening and be well. Stay well, please. Thank you.